Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I am Sahil Sawant and I have completed my BTech in Electronics and Telecommunication Engineering from VIT Pune. And later on I am now pursuing my MTech in Computer Engineering at VJTI Mumbai. I have also had opportunity to gain research experiences in radio astronomy at IUCAA Pune. In this video series we are exploring the radio astronomy, the science of studying the universe in the radio waves. In the previous lectures, we have discussed about celestial radio sources, including pulsars, hydrogen gas clouds, plasma jets near black holes, supernova remnants, and radio galaxies. These objects emit radio waves that travel enormous distances in space. But an important question arises. How do these radio signals travel from distant stars and galaxy all the way to the Earth? And what happens when they encounter Earth's atmosphere? In today's lecture, we will explore how radio waves propagate through space, how they interact with Earth's atmosphere and ionosphere, and how the astronomers detect them using the ground-based and space-based observatories. Now, once the radio waves are emitted by supernova or any astronomical source, they begin a long journey across the space. Unlike the sound waves, electromagnetic waves do not require any medium to travel. They can propagate through vacuum of the space at the speed of light, which is approximately around 300 million meters per second. This property allows the signals from distant objects, sometimes located thousands or even millions of light years away, to eventually reach the Earth. However, the space is completely empty. Between stars and the galaxies, which lies a region which is known as an interstellar medium, which contains gas, plasma, and dust. As the radio waves travel through the medium, they experience effects such as dispersion, scattering, or maybe adsorption. For example, when pulsar signals travel through the interstellar plasma, lower frequency waves travel slightly slower than the higher frequency waves. This causes a phenomenon known as dispersion, which radio astronomers use to study the distribution of electrons in the space. Despite these interactions, radio waves are extremely good at traveling long distances because they are less affected by the dust and gas compared to the visible light. Now, one of the reasons that radio astronomy is so powerful is that radio waves can penetrate regions that optical light cannot. In many parts of our galaxy, dense clouds of dust block the visible light completely. If we relied only on optical telescopes, large part of Milky Way would have been remained invisible. Radio waves, however, have much longer wavelengths and are able to pass through these dusty regions. This allows the astronomers to observe star-forming regions, molecular clouds, the center of our galaxy that is hidden behind the pulsars and the radio sources. Because of this very property, the radio astronomy has revealed structures in universe that were precisely unknown. In fact, many discoveries about the large-scale structure of our galaxy were made using radio observations rather than the optical ones. Now, after traveling through interstellar space, radio waves eventually come to the Earth's atmosphere. The atmosphere acts as a protective layer around our planet, shielding us from the harmful gamma rays and most X-rays. However, the atmosphere does not block all the radiations. In fact, it allows certain wavelengths to pass through. These wavelengths ranges are known as atmospheric windows. There are two major atmospheric windows that allow the radiations from the space to reach the Earth. The optical window, where the visible light passes, and the radio window, where the radio waves pass through. Because of this, radio waves can penetrate through the atmosphere. Astronomers can build radio telescopes directly on the Earth's surface. And this is one reason why radio astronomy has become such a powerful observational field. However, not all radio frequencies pass through the atmosphere equally. Some frequencies are absorbed by the atmospheric molecules such as oxygen and water vapor. One of the important layer of the atmosphere that affects the radio waves is known as ionosphere. The ionosphere is a region of upper atmosphere that contains charged particles created by our solar radiation. This layer plays a significant role in the radio wave propagation. At certain frequencies, particularly very low radio frequencies, the ionosphere can reflect the radio waves back towards the Earth. This property is actually used in long distance radio communication. where signal bounces off the ionosphere to travel across the continents. However, in radio astronomy, the ionosphere can introduce challenges as well. The ionosphere can cause signal reflection, phase distortion, and scintillation effect. These distortions can slightly change the path of incoming radio waves, affecting the accuracy of the astronomical instruments. For a very low frequency of radio observation, the ionosphere can even block signals completely. Because of these limitations, some radio astronomy experiments require space based observatories. Now, most radio astronomy observations are conducted using ground based radio telescopes. These telescopes are often located in areas where the radio interference from human technology is minimal. Such regions are called radio quiet zones. Examples of major ground based radio observatories include the Giant Meter Wave Radio Telescope or GMRT, which is in India, or the Very Large Array VLA telescope in the United States and the FAST telescope in China. These telescopes consist of very large antennas or the arrays of antennas designed to detect extremely weak radio signals from the space. Ground based observatories are particularly effective for studying wavelengths that can easily pass through the atmosphere. Now, in some cases, astronomers place radio telescopes in the space to avoid the atmospheric interference entirely. Space based observatories offer several advantages. They eliminate the atmospheric adsorption and ionospheric distortion, allowing extremely precise measurements. They also enable observations at frequencies that cannot penetrate the atmosphere. Space telescopes can observe signals that would otherwise be blocked before reaching the Earth's surface. Examples of space observatories include the satellites designed to observe various regions of electromagnetic spectrum. Although building space telescopes is extremely expensive, they provide unique opportunities to explore the universe in the ways that ground observatories or instruments cannot. So now in this lecture series, we have explored that the radio waves travel from distant atmospheric sources to Earth. We also discussed how radio waves propagate through the vacuum of space and interact with the interstellar medium, where phenomena such as dispersion and scattering may not occur. We also examined how these waves interact with Earth's atmosphere, including the role of atmospheric windows that allow the radio waves to reach the ground-based stations. Another important factor is the ionosphere, which can influence the radio waves propagation through the reflection and distortion. Finally, we discussed about major ways of that astronomers can detect these signals with. First, the ground-based radio observatories, which operate within the radio window of the atmosphere, and space observatories, where the atmospheric interference is entirely removed. Understanding how radio waves travel to Earth is essential for designing radio telescopes and interpreting the astronomical observations. In the upcoming lectures, we will explore the origins of radio astronomy and the fascinating story of Carl Jansky and Grotreber, whose discoveries opened an entirely new window to the universe. If you are enjoying this series and want to learn more about radio astronomy, astrophysics, and signal science, make sure to subscribe to the channel and follow the complete course. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Until then, have a good day.